Good evening, everyone. Are you excited about today? Well, let's clap our hands as our panel guests come forward. We have Damian Gary, Robert Harrison. He's a marketing major from Southern University, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We have Damian Stevenson. He's a pastor and an attorney. Today is going to be a very interesting day, talking about our topic, what women need to know about men from the mouth of men. Now, we know that according to statistics, that nearly 70% of all black women are single. And to a lot of women, that's a very serious issue. We have 3 in 10 college-educated black women that have not married by the age of 40. But we also know that their white peers are likely to be married at that age. Now, some of the problems that exist are that there are more than 2 million black men in prison in the United States. 40% African Americans, more than 10% are in the age bracket of 20 to 30. So we can see why women have a problem with marriage. And we read concerning Mr. Banks. He had an issue in the Washington Post, I believe it was, where he was saying that he believed black women should marry into other races. Now, how do you feel about that? They should marry into other races, but we're going to get into our subjects, our topics today. So we're going to get right into the issues because these ladies are waiting to ask questions to these gentlemen.
Stacy is 28 years old from Jackson, Mississippi. She received a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science from Tougaloo College. Educated woman here, fellas. She also has a Master of Arts in Forensic Psychology from the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. What is your question, Stacy?
Okay, I have a dating question. Why do some black men think that black women are too strong or independent?
Why do some black men think that black women are too strong and too independent? Well, I think a lot of times we look at when he's saying too strong, what do you mean by, like the definition of too strong? Sometimes, no, I mean, some men feel like, well, but let's be honest, you have a lot of weak men out there. So if you do something that questions my manhood, then that means that that makes me feel like you're too strong of a woman. Because we look at different roles. We have these things, okay, that's a woman's role and that's a man's role. And so I think a lot of men get caught up in what's your role as a woman. In independent, I think a lot of men look at it, okay, if you need something, because of my role as a man is to provide. Now, that's what a lot of men feel like, okay, if you saying my role as a man is to provide, then if I want to provide for you, you have to let me provide for you. So that's why some men feel like, some black women are too independent because they won't allow those men to play their role, if that makes sense.
And I'd just like to add, a lot of times, I think sometimes we look at the problem without looking at the source of the problem. A lot of times, well, I'm not going to say a lot of times, but there are times when men do feel that women are stronger. That's because we live in a society that unfortunately has not demanded a whole lot from our black males. Oftentimes when they enter relationships, they're not adequately prepared. They're not prepared to be a provider, but they want to be a provider. And so I walk into this role as a provider, but I'm not really prepared. So in dealing with my inadequacy, in dealing with my insufficiency, then the only recourse I have is to take it out on you and say, well, you're too strong. You won't be submissive. And so what has to happen is I think that the black woman has to look at the black man and realize as his helpmate, as his love or assistant or whatever, I've got to recognize that There are some things in his mind. He's programmed to be the head. He's programmed to be the provider. But because of, she was reading the statistics talking about black men in jail. Well, a felony affects your ability to earn income. And so since I realized that our society has some ways hindered his ability, then I've got to compensate for that. So I've got to be willing to drop my pride a little bit. And it's not, it's not lowering me as a woman, but I'm just compensating for the inadequacies that this man may have as a result of the society in which he was raised.
We also got to look at that way we raise our boys and our girls. We raise our girls to be independent. We tell our girls, go get good grades, go to college, so you can take care of yourself. But look at the way we raise our boys. We tell our boys, okay, just graduate from high school, find you a wife so she can take care of you. And so we switched the roles. We tell our girls they have to be independent because, let's be real, because mama was a single mother and all the men in her life was not providing for her, so we do the same thing to our daughters. But with our sons is we feel like they have to be taken care of by someone. And that goes back to what Damien said is they're not equipped to be those providers. So now you've raised me not to be a provider or to be dependent. Now you asking me to be independent and allow you to be independent.
My question is concerning finances. Why are some men insecure if a woman makes more money than he does?
Can't speak for all men, but just like me and the fellas were discussing in the back, I was actually in a situation to where the lady that I was dating, she made more money than me, and it didn't bother me at all. It's like, oh, hey, baby, where we going out to eat at today? You have to have a man that's comfortable in who he is, because a lot of times, females are so more far advanced than we are. It's like, I'm in school trying to get my first degree, and the lady that I may meet may have 2 or 3 already. So, it's not the fact of trying to play catch up to, get on her level, so to speak, but being comfortable and knowing that, hey, I am the man, and I'm comfortable who I am, so you can make all the money you want, because that ain't your money, that's our money.
I think some men may be insecure because they feel like they're losing power if their significant other makes more money than them. And, they feel like they don't have a voice and like the woman is really controlling the relationship. So that could be why some men feel insecure about their significant other making more money.
Now, let me, I promise Sister Adam and Bishop I was going to be real. They feel insecure because y'all make them feel insecure. Because if you make more money than me, you feel like you make all the rules. You tell us where we going to eat. You tell us where we staying. You tell me what I'm driving. And you tell me what I wear. So that's why men feel insecure. You ask me to be the man, but as soon as I say something that you don't like, well, Negro, you ain't paying nothing around here anyway. Ladies, let's be real. So that's why some men feel insecure.
So my rebuttal is more of great answer. My rebuttal has more to do with, you said we make you feel that way. And a lot of what you were saying as a man about being secure in your own self. So how can a woman make you feel as though you are not the man because she makes more money? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, where does it transition into the you feeling that way? Because I don't feel like what I say should make you feel less than a man. Or I shouldn't feel like because I can buy my own Birkin bag that you should feel less than a man.
I agree with you. Nothing that you say should make me feel less than a man. Let's be honest. The way some women degrade their man because of the status that they're in financially, it doesn't make me feel less than a man, but it questions why I'm here in this relationship. If you don't need me, and okay, How many of y'all women said, Negro, I don't need you. I pay my own bills. I drive my own car. I make my own money. All right? Okay, yeah, you ain't got to raise your hand. Just wink at me. All right, I got you. So it's not the fact that you're exactly right, because Kim, it's nothing that I should be able to say to make you feel less than a woman. But it's the fact that you start making me question why am I here in this relationship? Because if you don't need me to be here, well, guess what? No point of me being here.
Next, we have LaDonna Spencer. She's a native of Jackson, Mississippi, attended Jackson State University, received a bachelor and master's in accounting. She attended Southern University Law Center, received her Juris Doctorate degree, currently accounting professor at Southern University, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Good evening. I have a question about marriage. Why do black men tend to marry outside of their race once they become a successful athlete?
I am married, and I'm married to a black woman, and I'm an attorney, so I think I'm successful. But again, now sometimes we generalize things. I don't think I have several professional black male friends. Stacey knows that went to Tougaloo with us, and some of us have been very fortunate. We're all doing financially very well. All of us that are married to black women. I know sometimes you see on ESPN, you see the black athlete who marries a white woman, or you see Ice Loves Coco, and you think that all black men are marrying successful white women, and I do not think that is the case.
So why do you think that some, like the majority of the black men that are drafted in the NBA, NFL, it seems like there is a tendency to marry outside the race instead of a black woman?
Well, I do think that sometimes people get in certain environments and they feel as if they have to compensate. And what you have to remember, even in the NFL, a lot of times people think, most of the players are black. But if you look at the owners, the general managers, those are not white people. I mean, those are not black people. Most of the time they're whites. And I can tell you, it is nothing, as a black male, it is very uncomfortable to go into a meeting or to go into an environment and you be the only black in there. So oftentimes we see them and they're in the arena and it's full, but we don't see them when they're in meetings with agents and general managers, owners, and they're the only black face. And so there is a need to take somebody in there who you feel like can relate to you or to kind of help you understand. So I believe that is why at times they marry white women. And then it's also a status thing. It is, some people believe it is the ultimate symbol of, I have arrived. I'm not saying that that's right, but there are certain people who do feel that way.
Do you think that it's kind of sending a message or kind of insinuating that black women are gold diggers?
I'll let the rest of my because if you look, Tiger Woods' wife divorced him, and she didn't walk away with nickels and dimes. I mean, she got a nice divorce settlement. So I don't think that it implies in any kind of way that black women are gold diggers. I mean, these people, they just do it because it's what they do. And I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's what they choose to do. But I don't think that this says anything about the black woman. I don't think she should in any way feel insecure, intimidated because, a Tiger Woods, does not want to marry her.
I would just like to add, there are gold diggers of all races.